Before I get into the main part of this video, let me set the scene for you guys with a short story which actually made me come up with the title for this video. So imagine this, I'm lying in my bed and I'm just thinking about stuff because it's 11:30, I know that I can't get to bed yet. So I'm just there, my mind's wandering, then eventually a video idea comes into my head. And then I'm thinking about it, I'm entertaining it, but this is where the problem comes in. Because it's 11:30, it's late and I'm tired, and I'm in my bed and it's warm. And none of those things are gonna help me in this situation because I have two options now. Either I get out of bed to go write down the idea for this video, or I stay in bed and then I have to try and remember it to then write it down the next morning. And I'm sure you guys can guess what I did. I stayed in bed because I was kind of arrogant and thinking, yeah, I'll be able to remember this for the morning. And then next morning comes, I'm in the gym and I'm like, great, I've completely forgotten the idea for the video I was thinking about last night. So this is why this video is called Write Everything Down. Because this has happened to me like 4 times now. I've been thinking about a video idea, but I've been so distracted with other things, and I guess too arrogant really, to think that I'm gonna remember it for probably the next half an hour before eventually writing it down. Then half an hour goes by, and I've now forgotten what it is. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's had this problem. And it might not even be for a video idea. It could be you wanna send someone a text message, but you're so caught up in what you're doing now that you forget. Or maybe you're trying to write an email to your boss or maybe another work colleague, but you're so caught up in whatever you're doing that you forget. And then by the time you think about it again, you don't remember what you were going to say. So for me now, I'm like, this isn't going to happen to me again. Because for all I know, those videos could have gone super viral and I could be in a completely different position to where I am now. And that can be the same for you. Maybe that one text message, that one email could have completely changed the trajectory of your life. So now I'm at the stage where I'm like, anytime, any place, anywhere, I need to be ready to write down a video idea. Because I don't know what's going to happen, but I need to be prepared that maybe, even if it's using just pen and paper, even if it's just writing it down on some tissue if you're at a restaurant, but you have to be prepared to write it down. Because life is busy, and more often than not, you're going to forget whatever it is. And I don't want any of you to make the mistakes that I've made, where I've thought, okay, I can remember this for the next half an hour, or the next hour, or even for the next 7 hours whilst I'm sleeping. Because as I've learned from my own experience, it doesn't work. And who knows where I could be now if I'd managed to write down those videos at the time when I remembered and then recorded them whenever that happened to be. Who knows where I could be now? So, even if it is just carrying a pen and paper with you wherever you go, that could literally be it. Just carry a small notepad and a little pen in your pocket wherever you go, so you know that maybe your phone has died or someone else is using your phone, or maybe you just don't know where it is. But you know that you have a pen and paper with you and you're able to write down any idea in an emergency. And because there are times when I feel like if I just go over it in my head multiple times, then I'll be able to write it down. And sometimes that works. If I'm in the shower, for example, and I know it's got a couple of minutes until I get out, I just rehearse it in my head, then as soon as I get out of the shower, I write it down. Because I'm not trying to leave anything to chance and then me end up forgetting it. So, obviously that incident that happened about a couple of days ago now, that's what sparked the idea for this video. Because I was like, I might not be the only person who's experienced this. And I'm sure fellow content creators have been through this too, where they don't write the ideas straight away and then they just end up forgetting. And I don't want this to happen to any of you, whether it's for content creation, or maybe a work email, maybe even just an important text message. which you want to send to a loved one, an old friend, just do it in the moment, because in the busyness of life, more often than not, your mind is going to get caught up with something else. Because there are so many distractions out there, so many different things, so many different people who are vying for our attention. And sometimes our attention slips and we just end up getting caught out on these other things. And from there, it's just a long, windy road away from the thing that we tried to remember in the first place. So, if you take anything away from this video, it's just write everything down. No matter where you are, who you're with, what situation you're in, just write it down. Because that way you know that it's stored somewhere and it's safe, and you can come back and refer to it later. Write everything down.